Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a fascinating and, frankly, intense recent BBC News analysis. We're looking at a massive shift that is literally rewiring modern warfare: artificial intelligence. We're going to cut right through the Hollywood sci-fi hype and look at what actually happens when you mix human intelligence with sheer machine speed on the battlefield. And most importantly, we're going to analyze the profound moral risks of handing over the trigger to an algorithm.
Just to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this shift, consider how The Guardian recently described it. They called it an AI Oppenheimer moment. Now, that is a heavily loaded comparison, right? But it really captures the reality of the billions of dollars currently flooding into systems that promise to make human conflict smarter, cheaper, and vastly faster. Defense contractors are moving at absolute breakneck speed here, and the stakes, well, they literally could not be higher.
So, Section 1. Training artificial adversaries.
To really grasp the global risks, we first need to look at how this tech is deployed long before it ever sees a real-world battlefield. Let's look at military flight training at major defense contractors like BAE Systems. The AI used here, it's not just some static, predictable background simulation. It is an active, highly predatory learning system. It records every single metric of a human trainee's performance, it pinpoints exactly where they're struggling, and then it generates incredibly complex behaviors to attack the pilot right where they are the most vulnerable. It's like a sparring partner that knows your absolute weakest spots.
And this highlights an immediate, real-world challenge. See, a human pilot fights using traditional, predictable military doctrine, right? They do exactly what they were trained to do. But an AI Top Gun, like the system developed by Cranfield University, doesn't care about the traditional playbook. It adapts instantly. It's entirely elusive. So human pilots are suddenly squaring off against these virtual adversaries that simply throw the recognized rules of engagement right out the window.
Moving on to Section 2. Speeding up the kill chain.
When we move from these simulations to the active battlefield, everything revolves around what the military calls the kill chain. This is a highly procedural approach to using precision-guided munitions. As former RAF pilot Mikey K explains, this chain dictates the identification, selection, and prosecution of a threat. And what we're seeing today is AI being aggressively designed to inform every single lethal component of this entire process.
Let's break down how that process actually works in practice. Step 1 is target identification, where they gather human and electronic intelligence. Step 2 is estimating the collateral damage. Step 3 is selecting the absolute optimal weapon. And finally, Step 4 is assessing the battle damage after the fact. The crucial takeaway for us here: AI has the capacity to ingest an overwhelming amount of data. We're talking everything from intercepted phone taps to high-resolution drone imagery, and it uses that data to rapidly accelerate every single one of those 4 steps. Okay, let's zoom in on Step 2 for a second. The collateral damage estimate, or CDE. You can think of this as the grim math of war. It's an assessment of the potential danger to civilian lives or infrastructure near a military target. Now, militaries argue that by crunching this data at machine speeds, AI can neutralize imminent threats so much faster, while theoretically at least minimizing accidental damage to things like a nearby school or a passing bus.
Mikey K actually gives us a hyper-specific scenario to really illustrate this. Imagine you have 2 snipers pinned down on the second floor of a 30-story building. To take them out without bringing down the entire skyscraper, you need a very specific tool. Say, a steel-tipped penetrator with a delayed fuse designed to punch through 28 floors and detonate only on the second. In theory, an AI system can instantly assist a human commander in calculating and selecting that exact munition. The threat is eliminated and the building stays standing.
Which brings us to Section 3, the precision paradox.
This is where we have to pivot because there is severe ethical pushback against this so-called precision. Under standard protocols, militaries rely on carefully selected munitions to keep civilian casualties very low. However, the source material references some pretty alarming allegations regarding an IDF AI system known as Lavender. In this alleged instance, the AI's processing speed didn't actually increase precision. Instead, it supposedly led to a much higher tolerance for collateral damage. Reports suggest it permitted up to 15 to 20 civilian casualties per low-risk militant target, which resulted in the flattening of entire houses rather than conducting surgical strikes.
And this really encapsulates the core debate around AI warfare. The military perspective argues that AI's speed and precision minimizes collateral damage. But Dr. Peter Asaro from the Stop Killer Robots campaign points out a terrifying paradox. Automation inherently reduces the cost per strike. So if targeting is suddenly cheaper and faster, a military can afford to strike vastly more targets overall. Even if an individual strike is technically precise, the sheer volume of strikes unleashed by an AI system could devastate an entire civilian population.
Let's look at Section 4, the threat of rapid escalation.
Taking a step back from individual strikes for a moment, we have to look at a macro-level threat to the very structure of warfare itself. We have to ask this really frightening question. What happens when autonomous machines escalate on their own? If speed is the ultimate advantage in combat, what actually occurs when automated strategic decision-making interacts directly with an adversary's automated systems, completely without human oversight?
Dr. Asaro makes a genuinely chilling comparison here to Wall Street flash crashes. So in finance, trading algorithms occasionally interact with each other so rapidly that they trigger unintended, instantaneous market crashes. Humans have to desperately jump in and pull the plug. Now, apply that exact same logic to the battlefield. If autonomous weapon algorithms interact at machine speed with an enemy's algorithms, it could trigger an unintended, automated military escalation. We are literally looking at a scenario where AI could escalate a minor conflict into a full-blown war before human commanders even have the time to comprehend what just happened.
Which naturally leads us to Section 5, keeping humans in control.
So how do militaries actually plan to mitigate these massive moral and escalatory risks? Well, one glimpse into the future is the Tempest project. This is a joint collaboration between the UK, Italy, and Japan. It's designed as a 6th-generation stealth combat jet, but it's not just a faster plane. It's essentially a flying command center. A human pilot sits inside, but they control a mini-squadron of semi-autonomous drones flying right alongside them. It's a direct attempt to blend that machine speed we've been talking about with crucial human oversight.
And that brings us to the core tension of our era. The human in the loop is now widely considered to be the absolute slowest component of modern warfare. We simply cannot process data as fast as a machine can. But the human remains the sole provider of moral judgment. So while humans are the bottleneck for speed, both military veterans and ethical campaigners completely agree on one thing. Right now, the human mind is the only thing capable of providing an ethical overlay and evaluating the true rules of engagement.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, really profound question to think about. As AI continues to fundamentally alter the cost and scale of human conflict, as the speed of war increases exponentially, how long can the human being realistically remain in the loop? Thank you so much for joining us as we unpacked this critical tipping point in modern warfare.